So, hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the most basic question I would say exists in the stacks. And that question is valid parenthesis. In this, let's understand the input. You're given a string S consisting of the following characters. If you're not able to see the characters, I'll just write it out. This, and this. So 6 different characters. And the input string is valid. We have to return if the input string is valid or not. And what are the criteria to check if the string is valid? The string is only valid if corresponding to every opening brace, there is a closing brace that exists. Okay. And opening brace, let's say if this is the opening braces, then the closing braces cannot be this. Do you understand? Because if this is opened, right? Like, let's see this example. It says this, it says this, it says this. Now, if there is something to be written inside this brace, it has to be enclosed by both the curly braces. In this case, within this break, this comes, right? This is not possible. So every closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type, and open brackets are closed in the correct order. Do you understand? What has been opened in the end has to be closed first. So this has to be closed, and then only this is square. This is square. This is round. This is round. Are you getting it? Right? And like this example, it says square bracket, round bracket, square bracket, round bracket. No, because between two square brackets, there is only an opened round bracket and not a closed round bracket. Had this been the case, now within two square brackets, there are again round brackets, but these round brackets are closed in themselves. Do you get that? So it's like you keep going farthermost in the opened brackets, and then when you just go ahead and check the first closing bracket, it should correspond to that opening bracket, right? So what we're going to do is, let's say we'll take this string. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to have a stack. Okay. And then in stack, if it's an opening bracket, I'm going to push it in stack. So now my stack has this. My stack has this. Sorry, my stack has this. Then my stack has this. Unless there are opening brackets, I'm going to push them into my stack. Now comes this. It's a closing bracket. So I will go ahead and check, is my stack empty? Stack says no, I'm not empty. I'm not empty. Then I will see, is my strings element equal to my stack's top? What do I mean when I say equal to? Of the same type. One should be closed. This should be closing. And stack should be opening. But they have to be of the same type. Like they are curly, both curly. The answer is yes, we are of the same type. So I say just pop it off and increment it by 1. Then I go to the round bracket. I check. Is this closing? Good. This is closing. Is this opening of the same type? Yes, it is. So I pop it off. Then I come here. Now let's just see one thing. Had this been this, and this, and this, then this, then this. Now let's see. This is, wait. Okay. Now when we come here, this is an opening bracket. So what do? I push it inside my stack. Again, I increment the pointer. It says opening again. I push it in the stack. Then I move it here. It says I'm a closing bracket. So I see, okay, stack stop and the closing bracket, same kind. I pop it off. Then I go to the next one. I say, okay, you are a closing bracket. Let's see the stack stop. Stack stop says same. I say, okay, pop it off. Last one. I see it's a closing bracket. I see stack. Are you empty? No. The stack says, no, I'm not empty. Then I ask it, what is it at your top? Is it the same opening bracket corresponding to it? It says yes. I say pop. And now if my stack is empty, string pointer, I don't have strings pointer pointing to anything. Stack is empty. I say return true. Had the stack not been empty, right? Or stack empty and the pointer still pointing to something. In both cases, we return false. Do you get it? I hope you do so. Now let's just get to the code part. Okay. So the return type is bool. Let's put it. And what you've been given is string S. We go ahead and create stack for character. Okay. Now first things first, if your stack's length modulo 2 is 1, that means your stack length is odd. That means there is one extra brace. It could be an opening, it could be a closing, nothing is in pair, right? There is one that is falling out of the pair. Or if I tell you that your string 0, that is your first character, is a closing square. Or I tell you your first character is a closing curly. Or I tell you your first character is a closing round. In all of these cases, you return false. There is no sense in checking ahead, right? Then you say, okay, nothing out of this. So then I say we have to put the check now. For int I is 0, I less than string dot length, I plus plus. Now what I have to do? I have to go ahead and check in. If string I is equal to any of the opening braces, or your string I is equivalent to this, what do? I go in stack and push string I. Make sense? Now the next part. Else if, first of all, stack is not empty. I'll tell you why am I putting this condition. And string I is equivalent to closing and string I, stack dot top is equivalent to opening. In that case, it's stack dot pop. Else if. Now, why am I putting this? Because when you are referencing top, and let's say your stack is empty, it is going to return an error. So because you're referencing top, you have to put this condition that the stack should not be empty. I hope you get that, right? So now next, stack is not empty. And if string I is closing square, then stack dot top should also be an opening square. That the case, stack dot pop. Else if stack should not be empty, and if your string I is a closing round, then your stack's top should also be an opening round. In that case, we go with stack dot pop. In all the else cases, we return false. Now, if this be the condition, that means your string length is completed, right? Here I know after this for loop ends, sorry. Okay. After this for loop, it ends, your string length is completed, right? So until this for loop, after this for loop rather, your string length is completed. Now I have to check if stack is empty, then return true. Okay. Else you have to return false. Now let's come to the time complexity section. If I talk about the time complexity, you are iterating through the string in a for loop once. That calls out the time complexity, linear time complexity of big O of n. But also to make sure you know it of space complexity is big O of n because we are using stack. Right? And big O of n, now you'll say n elements in the stack. Yes, the worst case, all opening brackets given to you. How will you check it? Right? Put everything in the stack. And then when you reach to the end and then you come here and check, you see stack is not empty. So I have to return false. Are you getting that? So time complexity big O of n because we're making a linear traversal through the entire string, that too once. And if we talk about the stacks operation, stack top operation is a big O of 1, constant time complexity operation. So we are only considering the traversal that is happening through the string. With this, I am good with the explanation of valid parentheses. If you think you have any doubt, just make sure you're making use of the comment section given out there. And yeah, if anything, I'll be more than happy to assist you off. If you have any questions that you want me to solve, could be of anything, could be some interview question or could be some other question that you think I am procrastinating, maybe. So yeah, go ahead, post that question. I'll be more than happy to assist you in that. With that, I'll be taking your leave. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.